Ooh. It's a little quiet this morning.
It is.
Here we go. Oh, I better drive.
You gotta pull off. You gotta roll out. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy rainy Saturday here.
It is rainy, and I'm really in a good mood, which is like
Me
good for me.
too.
Because
Yeah.
there was a point in my life where rain,
Oh, really?
it would be automatic.
I love rainy days, but I did want to stay in bed this morning.
I used to get really sad and like super.
Really?
Mhm. I used to be like, I'm a flower and I need the sun to bloom.
And now you don't think you're a flower?
No.
Oh, what are we doing here? Okay. Thank you, dude.
What am I doing?
I don't know. It's a fork truck in the middle of the street. That's fun. All right.
Somebody's getting their HVAC done.
Oh, nice. So happy Saturday. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, God, it's
I
a
know,
new year.
the first one in the new year. And I was just saying, it felt like
I forgot to
last
put that.
week was, it felt like last week was like a million years ago.
Instead of 1 year.
Oh, instead of 1 year ago. Oh my gosh. Like so much.
I don't even know where to start, so we're kind of...
Well, here's one place we can start. Here's a souvenir from part of my week.
Oh, yeah, we can start there.
The wind was blowing really bad here in Akron, and my son's basketball hoop went right through the window. But I did make up a little ditty about it. Ooh, that's breaking. I better
Oh,
put that down.
God, can you post that?
I don't know.
You don't... Are you scared to
It's
post it?
pretty
Did you post it on
bad.
your page?
I posted it in ADHD Rewired.
Dude, it's hilarious. It's
So,
really funny.
I-
Especially how you were flipping. Like, you made it so funny to go through that and to make it. I think it'd be cool for people to see.
Yeah, the wheels kind of fell off my life this week.
It was a rough week for you.
It
there.
was.
You had a Brenda week. No,
That went through the window. I couldn't rent a car for various reasons. We'll talk about that another time.
Is that another time?
It is another time.
Okay.
Especially
It
since,
was,
you know.
okay. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's it. But my glasses broke. I told you that on the way to Indiana. So
Yes.
I was like a little
Is that
kid.
a new pair?
No,
an
my dad
old
fixed it. My dad fixed everything this week.
Oh, God,
He fixed,
I love
well,
him.
he, the guy, the window
fixes
guy,
everything.
he fixed my refrigerator.
Dad is Mr. Fix-It.
He is. Papa fix it. My nephew said that when he was really little. He was jumping on at a inflatable furniture thing, and he was jumping on it. And I said, "Don't jump on that. You're gonna break it." And it popped, and it was like he was sinking down. And I said, "Look, I told you were gonna break it." And he goes, "Grandpa, fix it. Papa,
Aw.
fix it."
Because he knows that Papa fixes
Papa fixes
everything.
everything. So yeah.
So, yeah, you had a rough week.
Yeah, but it was us. But I was able to kind of roll with the punches, and we really laughed about a lot of it. Like, that's why I created that song, because what am I going to do? There was nothing I could do about a lot of it.
Right.
Some of it was just like...
Especially, like, not right away. Like, as things... Like, you worked out the solutions, but the solutions were just going to take... You had to allow them whatever time they needed to transpire. So that was really...
And we get some extra time in the car. We don't get that very often. So you were driving me all over God's green earth last week.
So funny. So when I called her... No, she called me. And she was like, oh, my God, the basketball hoop flew through the window. She's like all spastic. And I was like, okay, well, do you want me to come up there? And she's like, yes, no, I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm just going to come anyways. And we'll figure it out as the day progresses. So
I told you I wanted to tell you a really funny story about what happened at in Indiana.
She just turned the heat down already. But go ahead.
I did. It's hot in here now.
It's getting hot in here.
It is. So we had Christmas. We always have Christmas, as long as I don't throw a wrench in it. We have Christmas on New Year's Eve with my family, my immediate family.
Right.
And my mom had gone, we were like, I don't know if we were done opening gifts or just getting ready to or what it was, but we were all gathered in the living room. Mm-hmm. And she had gone to go to the restroom. And when she left, somebody was like, well, where'd Mom go? Where'd Grandma go? Where Grammy? And I'm like, hey, everybody, I've always wanted to do this. This is a Howie Mandel thing. I'm like, everybody, hide. So we ran into the garage and hid in the garage. And she came out and I heard her go, where'd everybody go? And then she must have came around and found it. She goes, oh, I thought the rapture happened and I got left.
Oh my God. This guy scared the heck out of her.
I
thought the rapture happened. Could you imagine? Like, oh God, what'd I do? Which one of those things I did got me left behind? Lord, please save my soul. Jesus.
I thought it was so funny.
Oh my God, for that to be her first thought. Like, and I believe she thought it. Like, seriously, like, uh-oh. What'd I do?
Oh, too funny. God. All right, I had to tell you that. I didn't want.
That's pretty funny. She wouldn't tell me before the show because she wanted to see my reaction. That's pretty funny.
I think I laughed harder than you did, though.
Because I'm really thinking about what if that... I'm like, what if that happens? Anyway.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are going into a little bit more detail. Just this is the first week that we've had the key challenge for almost a full week. We started on the 1st.
Yeah.
And we kind of want to talk about the experiences that we've had and what the people who have subscribed to receive the text messages, because that's where we're receiving a lot of very high response on the text messages, and I don't know, just the key challenge.
And we have a special guest.
We do.
Who's going to talk about habits, and she's using the key challenge to really help her solidify her morning habits. So we'll let her talk about all of that. I'm going to have to turn it up because it's fogging up.
Okay. Like, yeah, because I'm freezing anyway, so it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Zinga said, yes, shirts. I said, listen, so we are so awful. We were like, can we get a uniform? Like, we need a uniform that we can wear every week, because we were tired of trying to figure out what we were going to wear. So we're like, let's get shirts. And the shirts are available somewhere. I don't know. We'll put the link in here.
Yeah.
You guys can order the shirts.
I remember what it's called. Shelly has one. It's and it says, don't believe everything you think.
So we will post the link for the shirts. Remind us if we don't. I'm going to try to remember to post the link for the shirts.
Yeah. So, yeah. I like them.
So, do we want to talk a little bit first before we have Shelly call? Or what do you think?
So we're going to try this thing. We've talked about, having... Shelly will be our first guest. What maybe... I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'm all confused. Like, okay.
Well, yeah, let's have her call in.
So we're going to have Shelly call in. We're probably all going to talk together just about the key challenge. Shelly is another coach. Shelly's a coach, right?
We'll let her introduce herself.
I was going to say, we'll let her introduce herself because she's a coach to me. I believe that
she is. And I don't know, that's why I said, I don't know if she actually calls herself a coach, but in my mind, she is because of what she does. Right. She doesn't necessarily at this point do like the one-on-one stuff or, that kind of stuff, but she definitely is a leader in getting people to think differently and challenge their mindsets and their actions. And, she's lived, she's somebody who practices what she preaches. And I've known her for several years.
And she's thebomb.com.
She is so just such an amazing person. So, and I just love what, I love always what she's doing, but right now she's really creating a movement and creating a space for people to really start to change their lives. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
No, it's not up there.
Oh, is it not coming up?
No.
See what happens when you answer it.
I did answer it. Hi, Shelly. Shelly, are you on there? Hello?
We might have technical difficulties, which is totally possible.
Yeah, because we've never tried this before.
Right.
So do we...
if it's plugged in there, it doesn't... No, I'm just saying, like, that doesn't make it come through automatically.
Okay, Shelly, try calling us back again, or I'm going to call you back.
We might have to just put her on speaker, which would be, it is what it is, I suppose. And we won't be able to answer questions, and I can't see anything on there.
I hope that was Shelly. She's in Springfield, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Yep. Are you calling her?
Yep.
Call her. You're on the air. Can we say that when she answers?
Hello? Hi, Shelly.
Call her. You're on the air.
I just tried to call and no one answered.
That was me. We were trying to work out the technical difficulties because we thought you were going to come, like your voice was going to come through the speakers in the car. And that's not happening.
And it could be because I mess everything up technologically.
No phones are connected. Would you like to connect a phone?
See, Brenda's the tech person.
Yes, I would like to connect a phone.
Look at that. It's Cat's little black book.
I was going to say, what's up with that? So we're trying to connect the phone right now to see if it will, connect via Bluetooth. This
Oh,
is
look at
me.
that.
Look at you guys.
Whoa.
Okay.
Are we connected? Did you
Shelly,
just do
can
that?
you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm the bomb.com. No, I'm just playing.
You are.
So can you guys thumbs up if you can hear Shelly? Shelly, can you say something to the audience?
Hello from Springfield, Missouri.
So can we get some thumbs up if you guys can hear Shelly? I'm going to turn it all the way up. We're going to hope people can hear you, and if they can't hear you, then we'll cut you off in the middle of a sentence and let you know that we can't hear you.
Sounds good.
So welcome, Shelly. Thank you so much for coming on and being our first call-in guest.
Well, thank you. I am honored and excited and a little bit nervous.
Oh.
Are you?
Sounds good.
Oh, so what's
So
this
what
is
we
going in
need-
the background?
What we need is for you to turn off turn down your
Well,
computer
thank
or
you.
your...
I am honored and
Are you sure
excited.
that's
Well,
not me?
Hang on. That's...
Yeah.
I don't have.
It wasn't you. It was me.
I started to say I'm not listening to you on Facebook.
It wasn't you. I've just always wanted to say that when I've listened to radio shows. So I was like... So...
We both got to live out some fantasy dreams
We
here of being
did.
like DJs.
Okay, so we are so excited about some of the stuff that you have done with the Key Challenge. So I don't know. I told Kat we were gonna kind of interview you, I guess. But
Okay.
what was it that made you decide that the Key Challenge was something that you wanted to do? From the beginning, you seemed to be pretty much really on board. So what was it about it that was
Appealing.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it was. I think you and Kat are brilliant, and I knew that it would be a really good exercise for me. So that was one of the reasons I was going to jump on. But the second reason was it fell so nicely into my lap. I am really wanting to start a new morning routine. My morning routine is really that I just roll out of bed and I either get coffee or go to the office. I don't really have any sort of productive time in the morning. And one of my things I was going to start a new habit of journaling, and I'm really not very good at that. But then the Key Challenge came along, and I thought, here's my prompt. I have a prompt every single day that I can get up. And I even told Kat, I'm like, hey, I don't want to be high maintenance here, but can I get my text at 5 o'clock in the morning?
So the good news is it worked out perfectly because
That's funny.
I send it out at 6 a.m. and right now I'm doing it manually, but I do send it out at 6 a.m., which is 5 o'clock Shelly's time.
Oh,
So
that's so
it works
cool.
Yeah.
perfect.
It did. So then I'm able to get up, at my 5 o'clock get up time and wake up time, and then go immediately into the journal with the prompt. So those are really the two reasons that I'm doing this.
Oh, so one of the things I know you and I feel like as long as I've known you, you've been a huge proponent of habits. How can you talk a little bit about that and why that's something that is so powerful and meaningful to you?
Well, a few years, I'll just give you a really short little backstory. A few years ago, I noticed that on weekends or days that I didn't go to the office or days I was traveling, I forget to take my vitamin D and my Zyrtec. And I would go, it'd be 11 o'clock at night, in the morning, and I would look at lay eyes on the bottle, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I haven't taken my vitamin D yet. But on the days that I went to work, I took it. So it started me thinking about what's happening that when I go to work, I don't forget to take my pills, but when my routine changes, why is it I forget to take my pills? So then I just started doing some research and found out that whatever I was doing in the morning, my morning routine to get ready to go to work was a trigger. So let's say I brushed my teeth. After I brushed my teeth, I knew that it was time to take my pills.
Wow.
So there was a trigger.
Right.
On the weekends or when I'm traveling, I don't have a trigger because my routine has changed.
I was going to ask, do you not brush your teeth on the weekends?
No, I don't.
Not at all. Who does?
That's all right. No judgment.
But no, it's so interesting that you say that, because I've noticed that, like, with my own personal, like, medications that I take and things like that, I don't do it on the weekends, and it will come to be like 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh gosh, have I got to take my pill today or whatever?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's that disruption in routine that makes total sense.
Well, here's the most important point, Brenda, I think, is that we go through our day thinking we're making conscious decisions, and we're not. They're habits. So I thought every morning I'm making a conscious decision to take my vitamin D. Obviously, I'm not, because it'll be noon, and I'll be like, well, crap, I forgot to take my...
Right.
Well, I'll like go all day without doing it.
Right.
So even though I have been taking these for 2 or 3 years, my trigger's gone, and I forget to take them. That is how powerful having a routine, having cues, having triggers. That just goes to show how powerful that is.
Absolutely. And we talk about how when we, like, especially when we start to do Steer 101 and we want people to be aware of their thoughts, we talk a lot about how, like, you know, there's so, out of, you know, we have up to 80,000 thoughts a day, how is it the 60,000 that are, like, that are repetitive?
Yes, that are repetitive.
So anyway, it's, you know, so many of those things are things, like you said, it's our brain. Our brain has 2 functions: to help us survive and help us be efficient. So survive and thrive.
Efficient. If your brain can remember brush teeth, take medicine, that was your brain's way of being efficient and going, oh, so it's easy to make that a trigger, so it will be automatic, and it's not something that you would have to think about. So I love that.
Your brain, yes, exactly. Your brain works the hardest of any other function in your body. So it puts a lot of things on rote. So it doesn't have, then it's like, well, that's going to be easy. I'm not going to exert so much energy now because this has become a habit for you. This is on rote for you.
You know, I had a thought about this during meditation yesterday. And I always think about, like, the stuff that I've learned, like, either through you or, like, researching on my own. And I'm like, our brain is like a computer. Like, my computer was being, like, really slow. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to reboot it. Like, your brain works consistently every single day, all day, constantly, without restart or shutdown. It's bound to, like, it has to figure out more efficient ways to function so that it doesn't crash.
Right.
Crash, car, drive, steer, get it? No.
I honked yesterday with Trevor in the car, and there were cars everywhere, and it was because I was, like, in the middle of, we were doing a song thing, and he's like, "Mom!" I'm like,
he was embarrassed.
Yeah, he's like, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." I was in the moment, and I got into the whole song thing.
Yeah, he's not Brenda. He was not cool.
That's
No,
funny.
no.
But no, so I think it's so, Shelly, you're doing something starting, I think you said Monday. I'll let you talk about it. So you're doing something around habits and routines in your group, right?
Yes, we're launching a program, a paid program, and it's particularly for women over 50, but it has a lot to do with habits. And you know, here's the thing: is that you really can't talk about habits exclusively. It's, you know, one of the things that I say, it's an entire foundation of things that we have to build on. You just can't look at your habits. You have to look at everything else, whether it's your core values, your reasons why, what else are we doing in the program, all sorts of things. So you have this foundation that you build on, that everything works in tandem. Your habits work with your core values work with your reason why works with your, you know, like, I'm drawing a blank on the program.
Oh, the Pearl. It's Pearl.
It is. But I'm trying to think of all the components.
Oh, okay. I thought I thought you forgot the name.
Because, like, let me just tell you what your program is called. It's called.
Thank you. Pearl. So you know, I think the important thing that we're trying to do in this program is to get people to get the women to understand that, because a lot of times we work with things in isolation. Like, I'm just going to work on my habits. So one of the things that we really want to do is take all these components of the habits and core values that I talked about and build a foundation for women to start then looking at what they want to do in this after 50, because after 50, I know you guys aren't after 50 yet, but you know, we've had decades of people telling us what we're supposed to do, society telling us what to do, because we grew up in this sort of, really different generation. Like, my daughter's completely different than I was at that age. So we have all these layers that we have to work through. So it's basically, helping women put all of these things together into helping them redesign their life.
I love that. And even considering Shelly's group, if you want to join Shelly's program, her group is Women Over 50, A Life Redesigned. And like she said, we aren't over 50, but we're a part of the group. And what I found is it's kind of helped. Like, we always talk about bridging
You're
the
breaking
gap.
up on me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It could be I decided to take the...
You did, and I got nervous when you came this way. I'm like,
Is it the same way we went last week?
I don't know, but I just remember, I don't know. I just saw farms, and I was like, I don't know how the reception's gonna be here. But thinking about Shelly's group, Women Over 50, A Life Redesigned, where was I going? Oh, and we're in the group, and what I found, like, Kat and I talk a lot about bridging the gap, and Shelly, you and I talked about it in our interview, just talking about bridging the gap, like, between generations, and how Shelly has experiences that I can probably learn from, but even being younger than her, I may have experiences that she can learn from. So what I found is that this group, for me, has been instrumental in that, having a group of ladies who we aren't in the same age bracket, but we all learn from each other. So it's a really great group. I absolutely love the energy in that group. So
really
I mean,
good.
I'm so glad to be a part of it, even though by definition I would never have thought to join the group. So I really want to put that out there. So if you're not 50 or over, you still may want to consider joining the group, because you can still get a lot out of this group as well.
And Shelly, can you talk a little bit about, because you have a podcast it's charting on iTunes, which is super cool. But that's kind of where this started, right, with your podcast, and then you created a group around the podcast, correct?
Well, I've had the group for a while,
okay.
And then I created the podcast,
okay.
And then the group has really taken off with the podcast. But yes, I have a podcast, Women Over 50, A Life Redesigned, and it's interviews and solo episodes where I just talk to people. But you both have been on my podcast. So I really tried to interview people who have had a transformation in their life, who've had an aha moment and have moved their life forward in some way. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be a little thing. I know, Brenda and I even talked about, really had a great conversation about trauma and how, trauma affects you, even from starting at a really young age. And then I do some solo episodes, and I'm really trying to move past what I see as the hot topics, like, menopause and getting your hair done and grandkids. Not that I love my grandkids, your great grandkiddos, I love you. But, try to get into the board step, excuse my language, no bullshit.
Right.
Stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. That's what I love. There are so many, and not that there's any issue or any problem with the people who do want to make that a focus, because I think aesthetics and getting your hair done and menopause and all that stuff is important as well. But I think it's so important to understand that no matter how far up in age we become, we can never stop learning and we can never stop growing. And it's very important to kind of stay tapped into that, no matter, how far along we might be in life, just constantly learning and growing and yeah, that.
Yeah.
Well,
evolving.
And
There you go.
well, and then another thing, I'm sorry, I can't see you, so I don't mean to keep interrupting
Oh,
you.
no, it's okay. You're not.
I'm sitting in a hotel lobby room just staring at nothing.
Oh, that's
so.
right. Yeah, because I forgot. You're on a little staycation, minication thing.
Yeah.
Like we don't, 15 days away if the golf wasn't enough for us.
Right.
We have to go somewhere else.
You
Right.
need vacation after your vacations. I mean, hey.
So anyway, I think that these topics are really important, and there's people who are experts on it. I am not. But I think a lot of times some of these typical topics like menopause and hair and grandkids and stuff, they turn into what I call caricatures of ourselves. You see those memes where you've got old women with saggy breasts and smoking cigarettes with curlers in their hair.
Right.
It sort of evolves to that.
Right.
So
That's true.
I really want to stay away from that and get into the personal development of women over 50, because it is a little different. It is a little different than when you're 30. So.
And I will say, like, just based on so far the Key Challenge, a large portion of the people that are a part of it right now are people from your group, because you did, talk about it, in the group. And I posted a thing on it from my staycation when I was in Indiana, just like on how it was going. But people are responding because you can do it online. You can take, part. I did go down the wrong road, by the way.
I know, but let's do this. So what we're gonna do?
I'm like, we're like in the middle of nowhere. I know it's.
Just
I
go
know.
with it.
I know.
Right.
Roads.
So we're gonna dig in and talk a little bit more about the Key Challenge. You guys follow Shelly, join the group Women Over 50, A Life Redesign. Shelly, come back into the Facebook post, and we're gonna talk a little bit longer about the Key Challenge and kind of what to expect moving forward. But thank you so much. We can't wait for the opportunity to work with you some more on this. Shelly's even doing blog posts. She said that she was journaling. No, she's like doing blog posts on each of the questions, which are awesome and super enlightening. So I mean, that's cool too.
Can I say one more thing before I have to go?
Yes, absolutely.
So I got your text message this morning about sabotage, and I thought, this will be easy. And then I read, your post that said, look at your thoughts and your feelings. And I thought, well, crap. Thanks a lot, because that's not easy.
Right.
But I really appreciate it, because what I want to tell the listeners who are doing the Key Challenge is always ask yourself why. Because one person has said, I self-sabotage by procrastinating. Why do you procrastinate?
Yes.
Well, I procrastinate because I am lazy. Well, why are you lazy? And that's just an example. Besides, laziness isn't a character trait; it's a bad habit.
Right.
So,
right.
So keep asking yourself why, because it's not always about what it's about. That's what I loved about. That's one of the things I love about this Key Challenge, is because you can continually ask yourself why with these things you're doing, and really get to the root of what's going on.
Yes,
so.
I love that, and I want to piggyback on that just a little bit, because I think not only can you ask why, but then the follow-up question for that is, what am I going to do about it?
Right.
So you ask why, then you ask, what am I going to do about it?
Once you get to that core why, because like Shelly said, with a lot of them, I have to go, well, why is that? Well, why is that? And I kind of dig deeper and deeper, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when I finally get to the, okay, now what am I going to do about this? So sometimes it might take a few whys, and you're digging deeper and deeper each time into that. But then once you get to that what, there's some kind of a release that happens, especially if you know how to steer, or whatever other coping method you have, to be able to actually implement change.
Right.
It feels really good to know exactly what it is that you need to change and what can fix whatever issues you're having.
Well, I'm going to say to the people listening, if you are not doing this Key Challenge, get on it, because this really, this is brilliant. And I am like such a curmudgeon when it comes to self-help, but this is brilliant. I just can't say enough about this. I think it's really going to help a lot of people. So I'm super excited about it.
This is Kat's brainchild. I'm telling you, she was excited. I mean, she always says, like, no, it came from God. And it was so funny because she talked about doing this challenge. And one day we were talking, and I don't know why I said, like, you got to know yourself to grow yourself. And she was like, oh,
can we use that?
Can we use that for the Key Challenge? And we were like, yeah, that's our company motto for 2020. You got to know yourself to grow yourself.
I think you said that on the last episode of The Drive, I remember.
Yes. So we are very excited. We're so excited that people are getting things from it. And like I said, we're about to talk about, I know I want to talk about personally, like what I'm getting from it. It's been, I don't know. So I don't know. This episode might go a teeny bit long. I don't know.
We're a little lost too. So
yeah. Plus we're lost, Shelly. So thank you so much again. Women Over 50, A Life Redesigned. If you are not already following Shelly, follow her. Go to the group so you can learn about these habits and what you can do to have better habits, or whatever we're going to learn in that challenge, in that group, because I'm excited to see what's coming. And we love you, Shelly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that was a cool first call in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm gonna go check out the comments because we have some comments. You guys, I couldn't check out. That's what I was trying to do when Shelly first came on, and I clicked into the video when I thought she was listening to us, but whatever. But I was trying to be able to read the comments while she was on in case any questions came in. But I'm sure that Shelly will go through, and if you guys had questions for her, she will answer those. So hang on. Let's say. Oh wow, she said Shelly was loud and clear.
Oh good.
Lisa Bechtel said no fuzzy teeth on the weekends with a bunch of laughing emojis.
I saw the laughing emojis and I thought I made out the thing that it was Lisa Bechtel.
Yes. And she said, oh yeah, the brain does need to reboot, right? It's like sleep is supposed to do that, but even that is just like putting your computer in sleep mode. It doesn't really get to reset, shut down and not do anything.
No, I think like sleep, sleep helps, meditation helps. That's getting for me, getting in nature. That's why we do the whole fuel thing, because it's find the unique. Look at this in front of us. Oh, I wish you guys could see this. So we, I forgot that I forgot about you and this stuff. I wish you guys could have seen her in Colorado. Are your ears popping?
Yes.
So I wish you guys could have seen her in Colorado. I should have videoed that.
We were on like mountainous roads, and Kat, it's like all this, and I'm like, the entire time, I'm like,
yeah, but when we got to our Airbnb, there was like just a little, it was a little drop off.
It was not little. It was like the car was going to flip over.
It was not.
It felt like it.
And I was like, what is happening with you?
I'm like, we're going to flip. We're going to flip.
And I'm the worst friend ever because I'm cracking up.
She laughed at me the entire time. Anyways, Jim said, oh, the app didn't drop a notification for him right away. He's just getting here. Well, we're so glad that you joined us. Thank you, Jim. Good morning, Candace. Good morning, Jimmy. Oh, wow. Jennifer said she's getting a notification. She said, because I'm addicted, I found you. Thank you for joining us, Jennifer. You're awesome. So I don't know what Facebook's doing. I've noticed that about a lot of the lives that I used to get notifications for. If you didn't get a notification for this live, make sure you go to the page and you actually turn on live notifications for the group or for the page. The only time we really go live in this group is for the show, so you won't get crazy notifications. You'll only get your notification unless we have something awesome to say, which happens sometimes.
So, and by the way, we have a lot of people that are in our that are listening and part of this group that also do things like some awesome things, like Shelly with the over 50 life redesign, women over 50. Jim has an awesome podcast. So if you want to call in. No, I was gonna say drop in the comment section what you do. Yeah. Share with everybody else, because obviously we're all looking at personal development and
not only that, but we'll
expanding our minds.
We'll be doing a lot more of that. We wanted to see if the call-in feature would work. It did it because Kat didn't have her phone connected to her car, but now it is.
You fixed it.
But now it is.
Brenda fixed it.
So we will do more of the call-in so that you guys can participate. For the record, Shelly does brush her teeth on the weekends. She just put it in the comments.
Have you ever heard me say, I feel like I got little sweaters on my teeth?
Little sweaters? What the heck?
Fuzzy teeth.
I do. Especially as much coffee as this. Coffee is my friend.
No sweaters.
Where are we?
We're in Hinckley, I think this is.
What?
Yeah, this is Hinckley. I used to have to drive this way all the time. You'll see in a minute where we are.
How far are we from where we normally
I thought we were going to cut off a little bit of time, but we might add a little bit.
It's fine. I don't know where we are.
All roads lead home. See, look. Oh, Richfield. We're in Richfield. That's where we are, Richfield.
Oh, okay.
We'll get home. I promise.
But back to the key challenge.
So, yeah, what has it meant for you? How have you...
So this is what I've been doing. I thought I was going to journal these questions. That was my intent. Well, not that I haven't, but I thought I was going to wake up, get the text, journal. What I've started doing, what I got the feeling to do on the first day, was to wake up, read the question, meditate on it, and then journal.
Okay.
So it's like the opening part of my meditation where I'm kind of asking to receive the deeper meaning and kind of that whole thing, and I'm praying on it a little bit just to figure out exactly, because these are some really good questions. Like, I know I have some questions that I want to eventually get to, but like these are like, I didn't want to know what the questions were that Kat was going to start with, so I never asked her, like, well, what are the questions? What have you noticed that? Did you notice that?
Yeah, and I don't.
Did you think I was just disinterested?
No. I wouldn't have been able to answer you. I changed this morning's question late last night because I didn't like it, and I was like, no, this isn't quite right. I need to ask this one. And there's a method to it. What we're asking, the questions that are coming up right now. I mean, I meditate on it and kind of pray to make sure that I'm bringing forward what I think will help people really dig deep and understand their motives behind things, what could be, us getting in our own way, those types of things. But these are also questions, for me, I was a recruiter for years. I was in HR for years, interviewing so many people. I was able to really learn a lot about human nature. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing during that time, but I learned so much about people by asking, like the one yesterday, I think it was yesterday, what was your biggest mistake and what did you learn from it? I loved asking that question in interviews.
Right.
Because I learned so much.
Oh, this is cool. We're usually coming that way.
Yeah. We're usually coming from there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of cut it off, but we won't go that way again. We'll go back. I thought I just turned too soon. I know all these road names. So anyway, that was one. And when I would interview people, I always used to joke that I was the Barbara Walters of job interviews, because I had people cry because I would ask them, I wanted to get to know them. I wanted to get to know the real person. So I was, I would ask questions that were, and I had no idea that it was preparing me for what I'm doing now.
But I think that was that whole hire for heart concept that you
Yes.
had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going a little bit deeper than just asking this question and wanting this stock answer that most people feel, to have an interview where you feel like people actually care about the questions that they're asking. Usually it's very stale and very...
Well, because most of the time, people are like, do you have the skill set to do this job? I want to know, do you care enough about the job to want to develop the skills?
Right.
And I remember the company that we worked for together, we were acquired by a much larger corporation, and they asked me, they're like, there's such amazing people here, what's your secret? And I said, my secret is I hire for heart. I hire to make sure that people... What I would say was, I want to make sure people give a shit, because you can't teach them to care.
Right.
So that was what and if people would answer even that question, like, well, one time I ran a stoplight by accident and I'll never do that again. It's like
you suck. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, but it was it was like, okay, I'm like, and sometimes I ask some questions where I'd say, I'm going to keep asking you this question until you give me a real answer. Did I do that to you?
Yeah.
I might have. I did it a lot.
I'm 99%
I'm like, I'm not
sure,
sure.
because it had never happened before. And I remember almost crying and leaving, and I was like, the lady kept asking me the same question, but we did end up having a really good conversation. And you were you coached me through it. You were like, no, just wait, breathe, now answer it. And I'm like, oh, but I was 2. There was this thing.
I remember one lady, she was like, I'm trying to tell you something, but there's a voice back here doing this. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should be doing this to people. I'm probably in over my head. Like, what does Dr. Phil say? I'm over my pay grade?
That is hilarious.
Yeah. I was
I remember that.
People probably needed therapy after I interviewed them.
That is so funny. You guys might not know, but Kat was the HR manager. We worked for the same company. That's how we met. But no, I remember you doing that to me, and I'm like, and I remember calling you weird, but I'm like, the lady was so weird. Like, she was really sweet, but she, my answer wasn't good enough.
You know what? I'm gonna change my name to Austin. Keep Kat weird. I'm good with that.
I'm telling you, but no. And I remember when you called me, I was completely shocked. Like, I got the job though. So
I cried, and she's gonna hire me anyway. No, I don't know.
I don't think I cried, but I remember being really uncomfortable, because you prepare for interviews in a way, and you're like, okay, they're gonna ask this, and here's my answer, and you look online and you get the questions, and then you get to you, and you're like, so in your lifetime, when have you ever? You're like, listen, woman, I just need some money. I don't want to talk about all of this. Digging deep into my psyche, ma'am. That's not what I signed up for. Signed up for a check.
Yeah.
Especially in those kind of jobs. Like, you're like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, but that's why we had to, because it was stuff that, people
but I
had
did end up loving it. Like, the work that I did, I absolutely loved it. It was, you know what I'm saying? And like they said, it was, Jim said, I went to an outdoor flea market in Litchfield once. I bought a lock, a huge lock, for securing things for $1. But the Litchfield farmer guy charged me $35 for the key. He's like, here's a mug for $1. That is so awesome. Now that was an expensive key. Oh my God.
That's a different kind of key challenge.
Jennifer said, I had to pause on the biggest mistake I made. I have so many and too long to type. You want to know what my issue was on the biggest mistake that I made? For me, that question, the issue was I'm going to say programmed. I've programmed myself to always be like, I don't think anything's a mistake because everything happens for a reason. And nothing, I'm like, you know what? That's a really good concept in retrospect when I look back on something to go. But I'm like, okay, when I was in the moment of these mistakes and these things that happened in my life that, truth be told, if I could go back, I would probably do them differently. Yeah. In essence, that's a mistake. Like, I don't want to call it, and I don't want to say I regret. I don't want to say anything like that. Right. But I can acknowledge that it wasn't my initial intent from the offset, and how it made me feel, and to move on from that point. Right. So that's
and I think when you add, and what did you learn from it, that's when you can kind of look back. And I agree. I don't have any, I always say I don't have any regrets in life except for the fact that I did not go on vacations. My parents would go on vacation with both of my grandparents, so my maternal and paternal grandparents, and it was a fishing trip. They would go for a week and stay in Canada on this fishing trip. Are you warm? I'm warm.
I am warm.
And I thought it was about fishing, and I was like, I don't want to go fishing. Well, now I like to fish, but I don't want to go fishing.
Oh, it's about connecting.
And I'm like, I went after both my grandfathers died and both my grandmothers were there, so that's my only regret in life. Was
that your mistake or no?
No.
You got all defensive.
You want to know why?
Like, no, and don't ask me what it was either. On air, ma'am.
No, do you want to know why? I'm going to be totally transparent. I haven't answered it yet.
Oh, you got so defensive. Like your whole posture went on like complete defense. And I was like, oh, ma'am, your energy shifted, honey. The whole energy in the car like completely shifted. I was like,
because I was like, shit, I haven't done it yet. Don't call me out. Look how red. Is my face red? I can feel it all hot.
It's so red.
Oh, I love it.
I felt it. Candace said, I might add that question when I interview. And Lisa said, exactly. If we reflect our actions at the moment, it gives us life lessons many times. When we know better, we do better. Oh, what did we... Oh, we said we got to know ourselves to grow ourselves. But we had another one.
Yeah.
What was the other rhyme?
Yeah, you got to get real to heal.
Woo! Yeah, that's a new one you guys are going to see pop up in some of our posts. You got to get real to heal. So that's, just speaking to the self-awareness aspect of all of this.
So for me on the key challenge, like I said, I didn't answer yesterday's. I haven't answered today's.
I'm sorry.
And I'll
feel the judgment come off of me. I'm like, you didn't answer yesterday's. What?
Yeah. So, but because I'm gonna give an excuse or a reason, however you want to see it.
It's an excuse already.
But I'm getting a ton of people responding on the text messages, and I'm trying to respond to them as well, and go about life and do those things. But I want to respond, whether it's just a question to ask a little bit deeper, and that's another benefit of texting versus doing it on social media, is that we're actually reading them. Well, not that we aren't on social media, but we're definitely reading those, and then my goal is to come back. There was a lot yesterday, so I want to go sit down today and go back and give it some thought and respond to those. But I'm really seeing what it is, like how we're getting in our own way a lot of times. Right. And I think, I know you and I want to talk about how we can help people with these things even more than the questions.
Absolutely. So that's, you mean now?
No, we're not going to talk about it right now.
No, I'm like,
no, that's off the record.
Right. Okay. You threw me. Okay. Anyway.
Are we off a little bit today? I don't know. I feel like we want. Never mind. So
can't deal with this.
This has gone a long time.
So, blah, 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 texting. Oh, okay. So, we were trying to figure out a way because, like Kat said, people are responding to the text messages, which is great. Because, I mean, right now she's answering them all. We're figuring out a way to where we can both be responding. But we were trying to figure out a way where you can be, because texting, you're not going to be guaranteed an answer. I mean, quite frankly, we're really trying. But there are a lot of people who are signing up for this challenge. And as responses kind of build up, you may not get a response. So what we're asking, if you would like to make sure that you'll receive a response, I was going to say more likely, but you're guaranteed to get a response if you go on the post inside the Steer Your Life coaching group.
Oh, yeah.
That group is a private group. It's not public. Well, I guess the more people that we add to it, it'll be more people in the group. But if you'd like to put your response there, you would definitely get a response to that post. So even if you respond to the text message and you're like, oh, okay, they didn't respond to this. It's not that we don't care or haven't been able. It's just that we're getting so many text message responses. And in that group, we know that not only will you get a response from us, but you'll also be able to have a community of people who may have.
Did you see what happened? I'm so sorry. I totally interrupted.
What is it about this? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
it wasn't, I wasn't gonna allow you to speak.
Yeah. No, you can't talk. You're gonna reach over and go.
Like, is it about this cat?
Yeah. So my and it's on my page, so anybody can see it. I'm not gonna out anyone and say their names, but one person was saying, I want to stop overthinking this illness that I have experienced. Well, my cousin had the exact same illness. So they started talking, and it looked like they were talking in code. They're like, "Hey, your
GPI and your CBM. Did you get your FML back?"
Yeah, right. And I was like, which is probably how I sound when I'm talking about HR stuff. Like, FMLA and I'm XYZ PDQ. No, that was
last week.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Brought it back.
I was like, what? I don't even know where you just lost me. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
But it was so cool to watch them connect, and they live in the same town. And I don't know that they're in support groups separately about what but I'm like, maybe they would meet. Like, it was just so cool to see that connection, and that's what I get.
And that's
so
what I think will happen in
that.
the group. If you see, like I said, and Lisa said, I didn't even know we could respond to the text messages. We didn't either until we started seeing the responses coming back in, and we were like, a little bit of free coaching. We give out a little bit of free coaching here, answer a few questions, or ask a few questions rather. But no, going into that group, and it's Steer Your Life Coaching. It's the Steer Your Life Coaching group. You can send a request to join it, and we'll add you to the group. And the posts are going in there, as well as the SYLC Consulting page. But we wanted it to be in the group, which is a little bit more of a private setting of like-minded people, so that you can make sure you might connect with people who are experiencing the same things. So, you know us, we're all about community. And like I said, we will definitely respond in the Steer Your Life group, because sometimes it's a little bit more difficult through the text messages.
Yeah. This went very long today.
It went very long, but we've been pretty steady. People have been on pretty steadily, which is cool. You guys love us. We love you too. I love doing this. I really do.
All right. So next week, we'll be back here. Same time, same channel.
She tried it. Like, I don't flub it up every single week. You get a flub a month, because I flub it up every week.
So no, like, notifications aren't coming through? Is that what I'm hearing?
Live notifications. When we go live, people aren't being notified. So make sure you go. Like I said, we all know Facebook and how this kind of goes. Can't tell them what we're toying with. An idea.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to say yes. And then if I reach over and go like this, bang, that's no.
So we are toying with the idea of doing extra episodes for you guys during the course of the week. We haven't decided exactly what that looks like yet, but it will be more
after dark, if you will,
right? Like
topics that we wouldn't necessarily put on here,
right? And that doesn't mean like freaky deaky, like anything like that.
No.
But when I hear after dark, I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So like just topics that may be a little more risque or controversial. For instance, we want to talk about race on that one.
We do? I'm just kidding.
I'm like, wait, should I have not said that? But we want to talk about race a little bit on that one. And you know what I mean? Just kind of having a different platform. It probably won't be here on this page, but we are toying with it. So if you are interested in maybe seeing like the drive after dark, Let us
We gotta
know
come.
your
Maybe
thoughts.
we gotta find a different name.
Yeah, because
for
I don't
that.
like After Dark. Because I think, like,
Well, I don't know. I got somebody told me the shenanigans meant something that
oh yeah,
but he was
they
like
can,
from.
but yeah,
He was
I
from
was gonna
another
say like
country.
overseas, the UK. Shenanigans means something totally different than they do here.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're toying with that. Let us know what you think about that. And I mean, if you haven't signed up for the Key Challenge, text Key Challenge to
860-792-6224. Sorry.
I know it.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
remembered it
I'm so
almost.
sorry.
No, because you remember it. It would have been way slower and way.
Oh, I'm all right though.
I still don't have the number down quite yet. But yeah, so if you have not started the Key Challenge, feel free. Jim said the drive after dark sounds interesting. Yeah, we're gonna change the name. We're definitely gonna change the name of it.
Maybe let people vote on it. And come up with a name.
So we'll come up with a few options and maybe we'll poll the page or something like that. But I don't know. We're excited about that. So we love you guys to pieces. We will see you next week, same day, same time, and a different topic, kind of. Alrighty. Talk to you guys next week. Have a great week, and we hope the beginning of your year started off really amazing. Have a good one.
Happy New Year!